Why, hello there, and welcome back to Arch Gaming. I am your host, Scott Archer, and we are returning to this game, Star Trek Resurgence. Yeah, let me just see, my voice seems to be going in a lot higher than the game. So let's give the game a little bit more volume. I don't know where that is. One moment, please. Let me just bring myself down just a little bit. I don't want to be blowing your guys' head off. We want my voice in the game to be roughly equal. There we go, that looks good. Hope you guys are doing good today. You enjoyed the first part, but we are gonna jump into the second part. So we're just gonna continue from where we left off. Let's go, without any further ado. Navigational complexities. So if you remember from last time, we kind of were introduced to our characters. Yeah, and then we disobeyed the captain's order. The captain didn't like that, and yeah, let's give this a shot. Let's get rid of the mic slightly closer to me. Hang on a second. Oh, that was busy. They have still not fixed the 1080p only bug on PC, so I'm on a 40p monitor. So yeah, it's not the most ideal, but it kind of works.
Mr. Diaz, I understand you have already discussed the warp drive failure with Ambassador Spock?
I have.
It is imperative that the Ambassador's shuttle be flight ready. I need you both to ascertain the root cause of the system failures he encountered.
I'm surprised, Commander. I thought you would have wanted to work on Ambassador Spock's shuttle yourself.
Yeah,
I respect the Ambassador and his many accomplishments.
He seems really lazy.
But I do not derive any satisfaction from interacting with his shuttle as if it were somehow transubstantiated through its association with it.
Well, you're the chief engineer, so I thought you might
Especially when I have the entirety of this starship to concern myself with.
Oh, why is it not giving me the key controller options?
I am not the chief engineer of this shuttlecraft.
Yeah,
the Ambassador asked me to take a look, and I'm ready to crack this thing open.
This ship, so
Good. You could learn from
it
Mr.
would be
Diaz's
cool
focus.
to look into it.
I'll take notes.
Then I will leave you to it. Make note of any abnormalities in your report. Carry on.
It seems like he's warming up to us.
It does.
Yeah.
Hey, at least that.
Even Chovok has to look at that face and know you've earned some real respect. And I have to admit that I owe you one. You were right to let me go first. I don't know what I was thinking.
You don't know me.
You did the smart
I
thing.
want to kind of play this
You
chill.
pulled me out of trouble how many times? Call it even.
Okay. At the very least, maybe I can track down that bottle of Saurian brandy you're still on the hook for. But first, we have work to do.
It's time to look at the shadow.
Ready to go?
All set. Let's run the diagnostic.
Okay. Oh, wait. Wait, triggers. Oh. Begin diagnostic.
So... I know about your talk with Miranda.
You do?
She sent me a Priority 1 dispatch right after your conversation. I'm happy for you. Both of you.
Thanks.
But I'm only going to tell you this once. Don't screw this up. Because I would be very unhappy if you tried this out and then, I don't know, 6 weeks or 6 days later, I have to start splitting holidays between the two of you. All because things went south and you're not on speaking terms. That just isn't gonna work for me.
Have some faith.
You really don't believe in me, huh?
It's not you. Or her. Just running the numbers, and things don't work out more often than they do. I like my friends, and I like our group. I don't want to lose that.
That's wise.
Is that thing done yet?
Yeah, it's wrapping up.
Oh, I feel like she didn't say that well.
The relays along the primary EPS are blown. The backup relays are all intact.
An EPS overload from the warp drive could cause that. But how did the shuttle end up dead in the water?
Huh. Well, maybe the ship's data recorder can tell us something. Here.
They were only about 8 minutes from their plotted warp point. No faults, just those warnings. What are they?
What other warnings? Oh. Warp field
Warp
inversion?
field became inverted suddenly.
I've seen this happen when the center warp coil cracks.
A cracked warp coil throws a fault code.
Still, we should take a look.
Yeah, we probably should take a look. I guess things can fail. And I guess it's one of those things that can fail. Warp cascade failure.
There was a complete warp cascade failure.
Wow. They're lucky the shuttle didn't turn inside out.
Makes me think the computer panicked on the warp field equation. Subspace variance out of tolerance. What does that mean?
It means the main navigation array lost sight of space somehow.
Would the array going offline cause that?
Yes, but it should have also thrown a fault code.
I hear a fault code.
Any one of these
broken.
failures should have thrown a fault.
If it was caused by a system failure.
None of this caused the relays to blow. Roll forward to when that happened.
Yes, ma'am.
Try to be nice and gentle, but it's like...
So here, they take a moment to get their bearings and they attempt to re-engage the warp drive.
There. That's the relays blowing.
And look, there's another warp system alert.
They're all the same. Subspace variance out of tolerance, or warp inversions. Finally, there's a complete warp cascade failure.
Then it's one of two things. Either a warp coil is cracked or the navigation array is offline.
That makes sense.
Why didn't they
Divide
put a
and
fault code?
conquer. You want to check the warp coils or the navigation array? I'll check the other. Let's not overcomplicate this. One
Let's
of these
check the
systems is
warp
likely
coils.
broken.
I'll check the nacelles for a cracked coil.
Your tricorder can scan and analyze data. Looking at it will reveal the unseen. Use X to equip or holster your tricorder. Hold RT to scan glowing objects. Using close to some object to scan them, watch the frame of the screen so you can throw away. Okay. X. Some objects you scan will activate a deep scan. During a deep scan, you use left button and right button to switch between different scan modes and search for glowing objects. The mode indicators on the tricorder will blink if there's an object to find in that mode. When you've scanned all objects in the frame will change colour, hold LT to analyze the data and finish the scan. Okay. So we have radiation, chemical, and biological. The reading coil show evidence of routine maintenance repair micro aberrations from neutrino interactions. Not getting anything there. The center warp coils guide the warp field through its focal event, maintaining a collimated first vector. No vectors detected. I guess let's scan the whole thing for bio and chemical. There doesn't seem to be anything on bio. I can't really walk now, so I can't really walk around to see if there's anything on the other one. Oh, here we go. In their standby state, warp coils produce a residual electromagnetic field, no deviations detected. LT complete scan. So that kind of all looked good.
I checked every
for the
coil
most
on the port and
part.
cell for imbalances. If any coil in either engine were cracked, I would have detected it. So, it must be the navigation array.
Except it's not.
I don't think it is the
Checked
navigation
and
array.
double-checked.
Well, the readings don't lie.
Here comes the security detail for the way team.
Got it. Miranda, a girlfriend.
Hey.
I'm not here.
We're escorting the negotiating team to the surface as soon as they come down from the bridge. I don't want to interrupt some important work. I was just hoping to see you before I go. The captain and the others will be here any minute now. Should be an interesting ride down to the surface.
You have the important job.
You're the one with the important job to do. Keeping the captain safe. And Ambassador Spock.
It doesn't always feel that way. Baking in the hot sun, standing guard next to an empty shuttlecraft. But it has its moments.
Hey, Maris. Aren't these those button pushers you're always hanging out with?
And you're the phaser jockeys we always beat in Parisi squares, right?
All aboard for Hotari.
Hey, that's
Is
it.
that another one of the captain's railroad things?
Gotta be. I just usually zone out by the time he gets to the whole, steam engines were the warp drives of their day part. Catch y'all later.
You don't want to miss your train.
I do have to go.
So we are playing this guy who's the chief engineer, if you're joining us for the first time. And we're also playing...
Not gonna lie, I'd rather not leave right now.
This
More
is probably
important
not
things on my
appropriate.
mind.
It's the most awkward bit animation I've ever seen. Oh dear.
That was nice.
Yeah.
So we're playing
Nice.
this guy,
Save some of
and
that
we're also
for
playing the
later.
XO, whose name escapes me.
We've got a deal.
But I'm imagining we're about to jump to play the XO again and go on the
Be
mission
seeing
on the
you.
surface. And in an earlier mission, he got the injury that you can see on his face. Getting here is apparently the right
Etzelar de
course of
Diaz.
action.
If you could float back down to reality, we still have a ways to go. All right, where were
Well,
we?
what's happening to this guy?
So, the warp coils in the navigation array are fine, but the nav computer doesn't seem to think so.
I'm out of ideas short of field stripping the shuttle from bow to stern.
You wanna take this out of the shuttle and throw it on the bench?
Oh, real hands-on maintenance. I like it. Okay, the nav computer is patched into the ship.
The ship's computer can double-check our work. If the shuttle's nav computer is putting out false data, we'll know it.
Let's run through the shuttle's logs again.
Running now.
Oh, it's the right stickers then. There is the first set there is.
Same. Warp field inversion and a cascade failure. However, the Resolute computer doesn't show the same subspace variance.
We're in the same conditions that the shuttle was in when it failed. Why wouldn't the ship's computer get a matching result?
What if the subspace variance was a momentary occurrence?
That's a possibility, and it would explain why the simulation under our current sensor readings failed to reproduce the issue.
But a subspace anomaly strong enough to cause a warp field collapse would leave graviton ripples for days.
Let's run with the momentary subspace variance theory for now. Roll forward to the shuttle's attempt to re-engage the warp drive. We need the conditions of space around the shuttle at the moment of warp failure.
Resuming simulation.
Resuming. There you go again.
Error in warp field calculation. Cochrane formula variables are out of range.
That right there. Take the shuttle sensor data from that moment.
Computer, why did the warp field calculation fail?
Warp field pressure return non-orthogonal. Results are undefined.
That doesn't help.
Wait, what if we use a different ship?
Put the Resolute into the simulation instead of the shuttle.
Yeah, it should warp just fine. Unless... Computer, run the simulation with the Resolute.
Resolute simulated.
Computer, give me manual control on the warp power.
Static field intensity, warp 1.1. 1.2. 3. Warp pressure is destabilizing. Error in warp field calculation. The warp drive has experienced a system-wide cascade failure. Warp field collapsed. Subspace variance is out of tolerance. Cochrane formula results are undefined.
Bingo.
What-o?
The same moment when the shuttle failed to warp, so did the ship. Whatever happened to the shuttle just happened to us. The Resolute will not sustain warp.
We can't leave Hotari space.
So it's something with the area of the space that's causing the issue, not the shuttle itself. Very interesting indeed. I guess we're going to have to figure that one out at some point. I guess what I'm going to be playing is the EXO. Let me just... Jara. Jara is the EXO. These are all the people that we have met so far. These are the people that Carter has met. We'll continue. That is Ambassador Spock. That is Uzjara. Get her last name, and the captain, whose name I also forget.
Ambassador Spock, Captain Solano. Welcome to Hotari.
Captain Solano.
We are honored you have come. My name is Tylos Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
The honor is ours, and this is Commander Jara Rydick, first
Jara
officer
Rydick.
aboard the USS Resolute. You'll find she has a keen mind and unique insight into the dynamics between
Y
the
and X,
Hotari and the Alydians.
We're honored to be here.
We're honored to be here as representatives of the Federation.
I'm so glad.
These must be the representatives of the mighty Federation. The reigning authority in the galaxy. Or so we've been led to believe. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. But, either way, we're grateful you've made the time to come to our little corner of the universe.
And you are?
This is Galvin, and this is Citron, the heroes of the revolt in the mines.
So you got the species, one of the species which was like basically...
Let's hope this is the last time we ever have to come here.
Yeah, so these are the Hotari.
If you'll excuse me.
They were the miners and were basically being bullied by the guys in the purple.
I think we're about to begin.
Did you hear the arrogance from that guy? I don't know what we're walking into here.
Let's
That
do
guy
miners.
was something.
That may be true. But let's keep an open mind going into the negotiations. Hopefully he's just one voice amongst many.
Then let's hope he's the outlier.
The Hotari have invited us as their guests, so we must show them the proper respect.
Yeah. So make sure you guys know that's what I need it. I'm gonna go deference.
Ambassador Spock, welcome to Hotari Prime.
The honor is mine, Your Majesty.
That the Federation would send one of their most respected representatives is not only an honor to the Hotari people and their queen, but a recognition of our stature and importance.
Let's get on with it, shall we? With all due respect to the Federation and their ambassador, they have no authority here. We are not members of their alliance. We are not subject to their rule, nor yours. We demand the immediate return of all mining operations to Alydian control, as it has been for centuries and will be for centuries more. That has always been our understanding.
So, just in case you're joining us again, you've got the Alydians, who are the guys in purple, and the Hotari, who are the other guys. And basically, the Hotari have planets have lots of like dilithium on them. And then the Alydians have like the equipment to like mine these stuff. And then the Alydians are basically not like slave labor, but like the Alydians like trying to force the Hotari into being slaves essentially. So they get like a small cut of the profit, but it's not much. So the Hotari are kind of taking control of the mines, and the Alydians didn't want it back, and the Hotari have invited the Federation to kind of mediate, which is why we're here.
That understanding has changed.
Then you invite war!
And if you cannot remain silent, you will be silenced. But his point is well taken. What is the Federation's interest in this matter? Perhaps you would have us trade one oppressor for another?
The Federation remains neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution of this conflict. We are here at your request, Your Majesty.
For now.
I'm trying to keep an open mind here, but it's not easy. I thought they wanted us here.
Stuff.
Was there something you wanted to say, Captain?
Oh, no. My apologies.
And what about the Kobliad?
She's not part
She can speak for herself, can't she? Then let her.
We gotta say. Why are you looking at?
Now then, what is your name?
Commander Jara Rydek, Your Majesty.
Being a Kobliad, you would know better than anyone. Your people suffered brutal treatment at the hands of the Cardassians. Their injustice towards the Kobliad is as unimaginable as it is unforgivable. Not unlike how we have been treated by the Alydians.
As much as they'd have you believe they are the victims here, remember it was the Hotari who attacked us. Hundreds of innocent Alydians were slaughtered without mercy in those mines.
The blood is on their hands, not ours!
Quiet! If after all the Kobliad suffered, you finally had the chance to right that wrong, to get out from under their control, would you take it? Or would you negotiate a peace?
I'll try to
If the opportunity presented itself, and I wish that it had, more than you can know, then I would right the wrong without hesitation. For the sake of the Kobliad, we suffered enough.
Of course you would. It would be foolish to do otherwise. The Federation is the most powerful, most advanced alliance in the galaxy. It's widely known we have an abundance of dilithium in our mines. And it's in your interest to secure a steady supply.
Your Majesty, if I may.
Ambassador Spock would have us believe you're here as a neutral party in the interest of peace. So why are you really here? I want the truth, not your Federation rhetoric.
We have a peace.
As Ambassador Spock has said, we've come seeking a peaceful resolution to this conflict, and have no interest in your dilithium.
I'm not nearly as naive as you must think. The Federation has done business with the Alydians for decades, which makes me question your motives.
What they haven't said, but cannot deny, is a simple truth. The dilithium trade would not and will no longer exist without Alydian involvement. We created it for the benefit of everyone, especially the Hotari. We've given them warp technology. We've let them share in the profits. We've made their lives infinitely better than before dilithium was discovered. All of that goes away if the Federation turns a blind eye to their treachery.
That is enough of your lies! The Hotari are quite capable of running the mines. We've done so for centuries. Don't tell me! Who deserves control of the dilithium trade and the mines on Tau? Who should the Federation recognize? The Hotari or the Alydians? Only be one or the other, not both.
If I have to choose only one, then it would have to be the Hotari.
Well said. How could the just and wise Federation make any other choice?
This is an outrage. The Federation has lost all credibility.
The mines are ours. Alydia will not be deterred. We will take back our mines by any means necessary.
Then you will see more blood spilled.
I am more than willing to address your concerns, Your Majesty. Yours as well, Representative. But I suggest we could have a more productive conversation with a smaller group. Perhaps only the most essential representatives.
That's probably like the commander is useless. Get out of here, commander.
I suppose there is some sense to that. I hope we meet again.
I feel like we're in trouble. But I don't know why we're being addressed. I feel like Spock should have done way more than he did. Like, when she was asking the Hotari or the Alydians, I didn't feel like there was a answer.
Spock and I will cover everything on the diplomatic front. You make nice with the locals and see if you can get some answers. We need to find out why the Hotari are so willing to risk war. What happened in those mines?
I think there's more happened in those mines than is being let on. Ooh, I like going to water. I like it not water.
Soothing.
Speak with Cedron.
Commander, I'm glad you've chosen to side with the Hotari. I knew the Federation would see through the Alydians' baseless claims and protect the interests of my people.
The Alydians are going away.
Even though the Hotari should have control of the mines, some of the Alydian claims are still valid.
There you're wrong, but we can agree to disagree.
I assume you were there the day the mines were seized from the Alydians.
Not seized. Reclaimed. And restored to their rightful owners. Yes, I was there. We had to be decisive. Before the Alydians could even realize their worst nightmares upon them.
Don't you fear retaliation?
I'm curious.
I think these guys have some kind of
haven't fought
outside
back.
technical help.
They have the ability to retake the mines anytime they want.
Ability is one thing. Courage is another. The Alydians know any hostile action on their part will not end well. They respect one thing above all else, and that is force. The greater the force, the more certain the outcome. Any talk of making peace is just that, and worth little without the strength to secure it. Which makes me wonder about your ship, the Resolute. Undoubtedly the Federation's finest warship. Ready to contend with anything the Alydians might have in store. Or is that not true? Maybe I've misjudged it.
Maybe I'm between X and A. I'm gonna go X.
It wasn't designed as a warship. More for scientific research and exploration.
But the Federation must have ships designed for war.
Technically, they're Starfleet ships representing the Federation. But yes.
I see.
Cedron,
A pleasure meeting you, Commander. I'm sure we'll
And you,
cross paths
Sidron?
again.
So the Alydians understand force, and so the reason that they haven't mutilated, at least as far as he is concerned. Well, you stand still, one. The reason that he hasn't. Yeah, the reason he thinks they haven't mutilated is because they showed force, and the Alydians are scared of them.
Commander Rydek, I'm encouraged to see the Federation supporting my people. I'm afraid of what might happen without your help.
Let's put the blame on Spock.
If anyone deserves thanks, it's Ambassador Spock. No one is more invested in negotiating a peaceful settlement to this conflict than he is.
I'm so glad. We need his help before the situation escalates further than it already has. It's been very trying. I saw you speaking with Sidron, our national hero. I'm curious, what did he say?
He seems to be of the opinion that negotiating for peace is a waste of time.
Because force is the only blunt instrument he understands. He's a miner, not a diplomat.
Interesting. So is force the only thing that he
For the first time in our
understands?
history, the Hotari have the
Not
upper
what
hand.
the Elysians understand.
We see ourselves as strong instead of downtrodden. New voices have risen up. Old voices shouted down. Galvin and Sidron have become national heroes. Now, they have the Queen's ear. Better or worse, depending on your perspective.
Let's go. They took your place.
I assume they've taken your place.
I was one of the Queen's most trusted advisors. And I hope to prove myself worthy of being so again. Which is why you're here. My fear has been that the Alydians will launch an attack and crush us. You've seen their starship, no doubt. They could have retaken the mines whenever they wanted to, but it never happened. And as strange as this may sound, I'd almost say they're afraid. I just don't know what they're afraid of. It's still the same bluster and bravado you would expect from them. But it has no teeth. Like they're afraid of what might happen.
Because of what happened in the mines. Is it Galvin they're afraid of?
It's entirely possible. But I don't know for sure. Whatever Galvin is doing in those mines is turning everything upside down. But no one knows exactly what's happening. Since the day of the revolt, Galvin has seized control of the mines and restricted all access. No one's allowed without his personal authorization. And they've taken over a section of the palace with just as much secrecy and security.
That does not sound
I'm told
ideal
it
either.
could be something they brought back from the mines.
What did they
Inquiries,
find?
But everyone pretends it doesn't exist. I strongly
What is it?
suspect they're hiding something.
What do you think it is?
I've heard rumors it's some sort of ancient artifact, but I haven't seen it myself.
I wonder if they're going Iconium.
How can we know?
I'd better see what's happening.
Do you think you can find out what they're hiding? I need to see proof of something before I can make my case to the Federation.
I can try, but even if I found it, I might not know what to make of it.
Take this. You can use it to capture whatever you find, and then send it to me.
Thank you. I will let you know what I find.
I think it's going to be some kind of weapon.
I look forward to our meeting again.
Maybe what the Elysians were looking for all along. And now that the...
Sorry, I couldn't help but notice you were speaking with the Hotari this whole time. I figured in the interest of fairness, I should offer another perspective.
Of course.
I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know, but these negotiations rely on the Federation's neutrality, as does any hope you might have for a supply of dilithium in the future. So, why you would choose to side with the Hotari escapes me. Without Alydian involvement, there is no dilithium trade. Clearly, you weren't aware.
We remain neutral.
We are and will remain completely neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution to this conflict.
As is ours. Of course, the question is, at what price? Major Solid Arminta, Special Attaché, Alydian Armed Forces. Pleasure to meet you, Commander. I have my issues with the Hotari, but I have to give them some credit. They know how to seize an opportunity. Inciting an uprising the same day as a massive, once-in-a-lifetime ion storm.
Our assumption was that this storm was just an anomaly.
Yes, a very convenient anomaly. At least that was what we were told.
Ooh, what if the artifact?
Of course, I wasn't there. But who am I to say otherwise?
What really happened?
Something tells me there's more to the story. So what really happened?
Maybe what the artifact that they have is causing the ion storm.
The official story is that it was the storm that enabled the revolt. How else do a bunch of unarmed, unorganized miners seize control of an entire moon, much less thousands of mines? But I've talked to people who were there. They tell a different story. They say they're lucky to have escaped with their lives. That it was more than just the storm. That somehow the miners were able to harness the energy from the storm. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not even sure I believe it myself. But that's what they said.
You said they were primitive.
You said the Hotari were primitive.
Well, they are.
Except for the part about weaponizing ion storms.
If you'll excuse me, Commander Ryder.
That struck a nerve. Where is Captain Solano? Guess we need to find him. Wherever he went. There's not like a run key or a jump key or anything. Is there anyone else we can talk to here? I know I've been asking that. Oh, we can run. It's there we go. I don't know where Captain Solano is. Check out the banner.
They seem proud of their culture. Pride can lead to rash action.
Well, that was a disaster.
What happened?
The Hotari refused to concede anything, so the Alydians stormed out.
The Hotari did not invite us here as peacekeepers. I hope your efforts were more fruitful than ours.
She's gonna do some scanning for us. Okay, the slide's also in the chief
Gravitational harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
Guess I'll do that.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
It is evident that presently, the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
Omega?
Prevents it, or can't sustain it.
However improbable, that appears to be the case.
We need to know more.
The storm didn't stop us from leaving space dock and traveling here. But could it still be causing this interference with warp travel?
We must follow sound investigatory principles. Do not let an assumed conclusion drive your analysis.
Sometimes we need a little inspired thinking, Mr. Chovak. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clearer picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
The scientific method.
Setting up a waypoint at a distance roughly corresponding to the edge of our warp field. When we get there, I'll deploy the first probe.
Fly the shuttle to complete your mission objective. Right trigger to fly forwards, left trigger to fly backwards. Right trigger to turn, left trigger to right stick to. Okay.
Commander Westbrook, the Resolute systems are calibrated to receive the probe's readings. We are standing by to reproduce the warp field collapse after the first probe is deployed.
Thank you, Mr. Chovak. We'll be in position shortly.
And, Mr. Diaz, do take care in piloting the shuttlecraft. Now is not the time to indulge in the human penchant for joyriding.
Chovak probably isn't such a fun guy to work for, huh?
He does not like me. Oh crap,
seem to find a way to push his buttons. Yeah. I think he'd blast me out of the airlock if he thought it would help increase engine efficiency by 0.1%.
Well, don't worry about it. Chovak's opinion isn't the only one that matters. Last time I checked, I was still Chief Science Officer. And you made a hell of an impression on Ambassador Spock. I'm the one who should be worried with this new first officer on board.
Oh, I really hope I didn't screw this up. Reaching a waypoint.
This is far enough.
And the massive asteroid we just flew through, it's gone.
Transporting the first probe into position. Westbrook here. The first probe is deployed.
Understood. We are reading it. We are about to replay the simulation.
Problem?
Don't get me wrong. Things are definitely trending up with Commander Rydek. She's put my ideas into action. And she listened to me when your life was on the line out on the hull.
That sounds like a good thing.
It is. But I'm still trying to figure out if she's right for the job. She didn't go through what the rest of us did. Still got chosen to be #1. Can't tell if she was actually siding with me, or if we just fell on the same side.
Don't hold that against her.
Yeah, but she's lucky she didn't go through what we did. You can't hold it against her.
Actually, I think I can. Even if I shouldn't.
Test is running. Warp field collapse.
That didn't make any sense.
2, 1, mark.
Whoa, what was that?
Whoa. All right, that is definitely a problem with the fabric of space. We need to get another probe out there. With 2 points of data, the Resolute and the probe, we've managed to get an interference pattern. I'm setting a waypoint to a particularly strong area of interference. We'll deploy the second probe there. Listen, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me. Make sure you're never just one thing. And don't get so focused on what's in front of your face that you lose sight of the big picture. Before Rydek showed up, the captain pulled me into his ready room and told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer. What a load of crap. I mean, if he'd said that about Chovak, Sure.
Is that why you're being so friendly to me? Politics?
That would be clever, but I think you give me more credit than the captain does. You're all right, Diaz. And you've got potential. You're a capable engineer. You're good in the field. Keep up the good work, and who knows? A solid jack of all departments like you could be Commander-in-Chief of Starfleet one day. Hell, Admiral Jellicoe started as a shuttle pilot. And there are places to go in the enlisted ranks, too. Of course, if you get an officer's commission, they'll put you on another ship.
Not a bad idea.
You know, I'd be the best leader Starfleet ever had. Lower decks always have to fix all the problems command causes.
Whoa.
Maybe I'd just save everybody some steps.
Well, don't forget about us little people when you're running things.
Of course not. You gotta remember where you came from.
Okay, I'm taking that as he was like a comedy. Oh, I want to know now. So yeah, Carter. Commander Westbrook. Commander Westbrook enjoyed his conversation with Carter, coming away with the impression he's smart, pragmatic, and confident in knowledge of the ship. And Chauvac approved of Carter's eagerness working on the digital. Miranda went soon to forget her romantic kiss with Carter when they were saying goodbye in the Docking Bay. I might be worth checking those at like the end of every mission, I reckon. They do update. Okay, we all right here.
This is close enough. Stop the engines.
The flying's quite fun.
Probe.
It's not the most entertaining, you know, gameplay ever, but it's quite fun.
Westbrook to Commander Chovak.
And the story's been really good so far.
Sampling of data.
Very good. Running the simulation again. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1. On.
There it is again.
I saw it. It seems to be directional.
Well, what about the scans? Anything?
Here's the readings in relation to our local space. We've got the Resolute, Hotari Prime, and the probes.
All this interference is overloading the sensor buffers. We're gonna have to triangulate the sensors manually.
Okay. Okay. It's just having to move this. Am I meant to like be scanning these?
We got something.
These markers indicate peaks in the gravimetric interference patterns.
Let's see if I can find some more.
Because that one is the other one. Kind of like a big one there. Okay, not giving me that one. Right here. Okay, it's just a coincidence. Yeah. It's just like marking them itself when I scan over them.
Hold up. This is coming from the moon.
A beam that blocks warp travel.
Aimed right at us.
Someone is doing this intentionally. I don't know how they're doing it. This is like nothing I've ever seen.
Why would they do that?
Why would they be doing this?
We're getting an idea of what the Hotari
we came
found,
here to
aren't
help
we?
these people. And now we're getting hit by some warp-killing weapon?
Now, look here. It's current readings of the ion storm.
These concentrations, they line up with the interference pattern. The storm and this beam, they're coming from the same place.
Carter, whatever petty local conflict brought us here, it's just a small part of something much bigger. Presently, we don't have an explanation for how they're doing this.
Suspicion.
One thing is clear. This is no fluke.
Thank you, Mr. Westbrook. I want a full briefing when I'm back on board. Solano out. A targeted weapon that inhibits warp travel. Coming from the moon Tau.
That would explain the difficulties my shuttle encountered. More importantly, the tenor of the Hotari during the negotiations.
And here I thought the Alydians would be the problem. Coming to peace talks in a warship. This wasn't supposed to be so complicated.
The Alydians knew something was off. They did.
For all their posturing, Every indication is that the Alydians are afraid of the Hotari. They didn't bring their warship as a threat. They brought it because they're scared.
From everything we witnessed, I would say that is highly likely.
Yeah.
But what are they afraid of?
Tylus, the Hotari representative, said she thought they found something in the mines. Galvin and Sidron brought it back to the palace, but they're keeping it under tight security. She's going to investigate it. I gave her my tricorder. I expect she'll contact us soon.
You found an ally.
Why would Tylus help us? Go behind her people's back? It's a fair question, considering.
She's out of options.
She's worried that her people are being dragged into something that isn't going to end well for them. She's trying to save them.
That may be true.
She's certainly more likely to help than the other Hotari we've met.
That raises another question. Specifically, what do the other Hotari have to gain in bringing us here, only to make this hostile maneuver against us? There must be some motivation.
Unless they changed their minds between when they asked and when we got here.
That's true.
That's the thing. It doesn't make sense to bring us here. Tylus said that Galvin and Sidron have restricted access to the mines, even to the Hotari. So they don't want anybody to learn what they've found.
Then calling in the Federation is a funny way of going about it. I don't think the Alydians know what's really down on that moon either.
No.
Major Armintas said the revolt defied explanation. That the Hotari miners somehow harnessed the energy of the storm.
Harness the energy of the storm?
Doing that is beyond even our capabilities.
So is a weapon that disrupts warp travel.
There have been civilizations and entities, both past and present, far more technologically advanced than the Federation.
The Alydians and Hotari don't fall into that category.
But that is all the more reason to investigate further.
Commander Rydek, sorry to interrupt. We've received an urgent call from Hotari. The Queen's advisor, Tylus, has asked to speak with you.
Put her through.
Galvin and Sidron are still with the Queen. I've enlisted help to gain access to the room they have under guard. I don't have much time.
I'm not supposed to leave my post.
It's only for a moment. I so appreciate your help.
I feel like this is going to end well. I feel like we're going to watch her die.
I found something. I'm sending you a scan.
What is that?
Got it. Tylus, if we needed to gain access to the mines on Tau, is that something you could help us with?
I suppose it wouldn't be easy, but I have to go.
Tylus.
Okay. It looks like she's okay.
Sorry, Captain. We've lost all contact.
It looks like she dropped the
hope
call.
she escaped without harm.
It was hard to tell.
I got her into this mess.
I'm the one who got her into this. If something happens to her, it's my fault.
She's one of the Queen's closest advisors. I'm sure she'll be fine. Assuming the Queen isn't part of this. Let's see the scan of whatever the hell that was.
Tylus suspects this came from the mines on Tau.
It appears to be of ancient origin, but the markings are unfamiliar.
How can you tell that?
We can run a full analysis when we get back to the Resolute. But if this came from the mines, then it might be the key to how they got the upper hand against the Alydians.
Then we have to go into the mines.
Man, this
The
is getting
Federation
good.
would not allow that. We're, after all, sent here to be a neutral party in a peace negotiation. However, we could demonstrate that the Hotari have acted in bad faith, which would enable us to investigate the mines on Tau with full justification. But of course, we would need conclusive proof before taking action. Otherwise, it could put us in a difficult position.
Whatever this artifact is may be proof enough. At least to satisfy the Federation.
Especially if we can show the Hotari are controlling the warp disruption.
Yeah, that would be bad for them.
Resolute.
We may have a better understanding once we analyze the device. But a mission to the mines, covert or otherwise, is not out of the question. And I will handle the Federation.
As I was telling Carter, I want all the data I can get on this warp problem. And the negotiating team's shuttle has been recording data all the way back from Hotari. Even better than our probes. So pull the sensor and engine ISOs from the Melville when it sets down.
Will do.
I'll join you and Chovak down in engineering to run another analysis after the briefing.
That was just a mission statement, I believe, so that's very briefly quick. That's learning like to have a driver's responsibility if any danger to my Federation. That we saw. Ambassador spot for the giant fought well under pressure when she's been questioned by the Hotari Queen. That one was red, that one was red, that one was red. That one was red. And so I was reminded how she values her friendship with Carter when he said she doesn't know him anything, but letting her go and help, which was one previous mission. And I really read the rest of these earlier. Yes.
I didn't like this warp problem when we thought it was some astronomical anomaly. And I like it a hell of a lot less now that we know someone is doing it to us. How does it work? What do we even do about it?
What do you say we pull these chips and find out?
Took some damage on the way. That ionic interference scored the hull plating. Might be some micro welds. Let's try pulling together.
All right.
3, 2, 1. It won't budge. Gotta be the storm damage. We need to... Welcome back. Any excitement down on the surface?
Excitement? No. Nothing like that.
Hey, can you hand me the
I feel like
EJ7
Miranda's
interlock? From the toolbox.
I don't know what that is.
Not much use for one on a security detail, huh? Carter?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Shut off.
Okay, I'll apply pressure while you decouple the panel.
Here, I'll help.
We've got this.
Open up and say ah.
Thanks for the hand. We have to get these isolinear chips down to engineering.
No problem. You really know everything about these ships, don't you?
I do.
The tools, the systems. Like a walking Starfleet technical manual.
What can I say? I'm good at what I do.
But I
can
won't.
see that.
Come on, start
How
pulling
is
chips.
sensitive? Miranda noticed Carter's usual confidence was leaning towards cockiness when she returned from Hotari. Wow. Do we have to do it to all of them? Don't drop it. Well, what's that?
What's this?
Some kind of crystal formation?
Whoa. This substance is a quantized spin crystallization of hydrogen, carbon, and lithium. It's emitting tetrametric pulses at an interval of 3.8422 seconds.
Quantized crystallization isn't natural. I mean, it's only theoretical as a means to engineer matter on a subatomic level. What's it doing in there?
I don't know.
Wait. Regulation 364, subsection 9.
What?
Regulation 364, subsection 9 orders that in the case of an unknown foreign substance infiltrating a sealed system, it will be placed in secure confinement before further examination. Retrieve a containment module.
Don't you think we're more equipped to deal with whatever this is?
No. Before anything else, this is a security issue. You don't even know what this is.
Which is why we need to study it.
Once it's contained.
Just space for it.
Well, if it's not natural, then someone might have put it there. It could be a tracking device. Some kind of sabotage. Or even a bomb.
Which is why we need to get it to the containment lab.
Come on.
I can't make an exception. Not even for you.
I'm still going to report these crystals to Commander Westbrook when we send the shuttle data.
And I will inform my superiors. I'm taking this just as seriously as you are.
That is
but
a
I
penny
overheard talk
bickering.
about the warp disruption on the shuttle. Now these crystals? Maybe this situation is more than we can handle with just a science vessel. We could trigger a distress call, get Starfleet to send more ships. Or I could send a message to my old CO on the Adirondack. Get some combat-tested vessels. We shouldn't do this alone.
We're at the edge of the quadrant. Help isn't just gonna pop over like we're in Sector 001.
Wouldn't hurt to try.
You talk like you've never had your backs up against a wall before. This is Starfleet. We solve our own problems.
Okay, stand back. Get this to the containment lab. We'll get it set up for you. I'll let you know when it's safely confined.
Oh, we'll be there.
Last thing you want is to study this down in main engineering and have it explode next to the warp core.
She makes a good point. She does make a good point.
Almost forgot.
Can't have that.
For a second, I thought she'd gone cold on you. Like she might have changed her mind. But I guess this whole situation has her spooked. Maybe she knows more than us? Or it's because this is all happening so fast?
Now, you can't tell me you're not a little spooked, too. We all should be.
Believe me, I'm taking it seriously. But Miranda talking about sending a distress call on her own? That's going too far. She was probably just thinking out loud. I'm sure she'll come to her senses.
Yeah, it was neutral.
This mission has enough complications stacking up.
Etzler shard Carter's unthing the easy thing whatever at the return from Hotari.
Now, we'll get through it. You, me, and Miranda, too.
I thought
Commander
somebody
Rydick
reported the
was
crystal
able
to the
work
captain
behind
by
the
now.
scenes during the negotiations and made contact with a representative from the Hotari delegation named Tylus. She mentioned an unusual artifact of unknown origin being held under tight security within the Hotari Palace, which she believes came from the mines on Tau. Now, this artifact might have a connection to the revolt, to the storm, and to the warp disruption we now know has been targeted at the Resolute. Commander Rydick, if you want to take it from here.
Of course. Tylus managed to infiltrate the heavily guarded location within the palace and sent us these scans using my tricorder. It appears to be some sort of control panel. possibly connected to the warp disruption weapon, originating on Tau. Of particular interest is this symbol, which we couldn't identify the origin of.
The Federation database has records from a vast number of civilizations. If anyone from Starfleet has come across this before, the system should recognize it.
Cross-referencing with Federation records.
Displaying symbols from Federation database with a 90% probability of match or higher. Select a symbol to further analyze.
No. 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 What about that one? No, it's not. Why do you stop skipping ahead? Yeah, no, that's thing on the table. Stop skipping ahead! Stop skipping ahead! Let's try that. I think it is now. Now the bottom bit is not. Ooh! What about that one? I'm gonna go back. There we go, that looks like it might be a match. What symbol is that? It's gonna be Takana.
99.2% match.
Got it.
Put it to con.
So, what are we looking at?
The design and composition indicate this is a glyph associated with the ancient Takan Empire. Their civilization collapsed over 600,000 years ago, but once spanned millions of systems with a population numbering in the trillions.
Fascinating. The Takan were once the most advanced, most powerful civilization in the galaxy.
Is it possible the Hotari found Takan technology?
I wonder if they even know what they have.
Our knowledge of the Takan is limited. I have only encountered passing references to them.
I can't speculate about how much they know, but one thing's for sure. They know how to use it.
Indeed.
Which might explain how they seized control of the mines.
They targeted us with a weapon that prevents warp travel.
Computer, what is the last recorded discovery of other Takan artifacts?
On stardate 41386.4,
Hey, it's Enterprise.
the USS Enterprise D, under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, discovered a Takan outpost in the Delphi Ardus. According to the mission summary, an unbreakable energy-draining field was deployed against the Enterprise and a Ferengi ship. The Enterprise was only able to escape after negotiating their release with an entity known as Portal 63, Guardian of the Takan Empire.
Unbreakable energy draining field. It starts to make sense.
What else is there?
There's a lot here. Let's take it piece by piece.
Select the aspect you wish to learn more about.
Start with the Enterprise.
The technology to capture and hold the Federation flagship would have to be unbelievably powerful. Computer, what else can you tell us about the energy-draining field the Takan used?
The Enterprise D was unable to break free on its own. The precise nature of the technology was never fully understood. Only that the crystalline technology used was beyond the comprehension of then-current Starfleet science.
The engineering team found a quantized spin crystal formation in the shuttle you took to Hotari. They registered tetrametric radiation coming from it.
We have Takan technology on board right now?
We might. I'll run a full analysis in the containment lab.
Let's talk about the Ferengi.
There appears to be some sort of restriction order from Starfleet. Computer, explain this restriction.
A Starfleet directive similar to General Order 7 forbids entering the Delphi Ardus system or attempting to make contact with Portal 63.
Starfleet doesn't throw up a no trespassing sign for just anybody.
I suppose it makes sense, considering what happened to the Enterprise D.
What sort of planet is Delphi Ardu 4?
Delphi Ardu 4 is an M-class planet, a barren rocky world with little to no vegetation and frequent ion storms.
I think I watched
The
this
giant
episode
crystals
before the
that grow
stream.
there absorb energy, but it is not understood how they do so. The entire Delphi Ardu system, consisting of 11 planets, was considered completely uninhabited until the encounter with Portal 6-3.
Frequent ion storms. That can't just be a coincidence.
Finally, the portal.
Someone from the Takan Empire is actually still around.
Or at least was, 16 years ago.
Computer, what other information do you have on Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire?
The entity known as Portal 6-3 is of an unknown nature. A biped humanoid, he was unaware that the Takan Empire no longer existed at the time of the encounter. He was able to control the crystal-based technology of the Takan outpost through apparent telepathic means. It was by his choice that the Enterprise was released from the energy draining field after Commander William T. Riker of the Away Team argued on behalf of both Starfleet and the Ferengi.
Telepathic control of their technology.
As I have said, they were the most advanced civilization in the galaxy.
The Alydians should have crushed the revolt. But if the Hotari have Takan technology and can control it, see why they're willing to negotiate peace. For all we know, this could be just the beginning. And we're up against something greater than we can imagine.
We need to get to the mines.
There's only one way to find out.
I think
We
we need
need
to
to
get to the
see
mines to
what's
figure
down
this
there
out.
for ourselves.
I might be able to help with that. We've been able to triangulate the source of the ionic interference and warp disruption to a specific mine on Tau.
Ah, that's
Engineering used the latest data from your shuttle to pinpoint its origin. There.
So we know where to look.
Commander Rydek's right. We need to know what's down there, what the Hotari are hiding, to better understand what we're up against, and to neutralize it if we can.
Captain, embarking on a mission to the Hotari moon would not be viewed favorably by either side. However, given the circumstances, we are entirely within our rights to defend ourselves.
I just want to make sure this doesn't blow up in our faces. Which is why I'm thinking of sending Commander Rydek on a covert mission to Tau. Assuming you're up to the task.
Oh, yeah.
Require absolute secrecy. And obviously, it's not without risk.
It's an away team.
I'll get the away team in and out. They're in safe hands with me.
Under normal circumstances, that would be the case. But given the sensitive nature of this incursion, I'm afraid you'll have to go it alone. I'm hoping Tylus can accompany you. The priority is to avoid detection. It's a calculated risk. The last thing we need is to get caught and then blamed for violating our neutrality and aggravating an already tense situation. We can't afford any mistakes, which is why I've chosen you.
I would get caught. Let's be
Yes,
slightly
sir.
cocky.
I'll do everything in my power to make sure no one knows I'm there.
Let's be
Good.
slightly cocky.
Of course, you'll have full support from the Resolute, and we'll make sure we take every precaution.
Every precaution.
Get in touch with Tylus and make the necessary arrangements as discreetly as possible.
So
Bridge
the
to
captain was
Solano.
good.
The
The
Alydians
security
have
officer
moved
was.
additional ships to the edge of the Hotari system.
That does not sound good, but we'll come back to that in a second. Lieutenant Bedrosian was inspired by Jorah's boldness when discussing how to address the Tory veterans in staff meeting. Why was that neutral? That sounds good. Captain Solano couldn't help but be impressed by Jorah's willingness to undertake the mission to Tau despite the evident risks.
Current heading is straight for the homeworld.
Understood.
It would seem we no longer have the luxury of waiting. In that case, may I suggest you and I return to Hotari Prime? Doing so will provide Commander Rydek as much time as possible to complete her mission.
Agreed. We'll hail the Queen's delegation from my ready room. We all know what we need to do. Dismissed.
This is exciting. I'm hoping we get some more gameplay bits. Lost and found.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edsolar.
Just before we do that, is there anything new for this guy? No.
Where is the crystal formation that you found in the shuttle? I have tasked Ensign Calloway with performing a full analysis of the tetrametric pulses.
Security brought it to the containment lab.
I was just there. They don't know anything about it. Security never checked it in.
Miranda never got there?
She's the one that had the crystal formation?
Yeah, her and the rest of the security detail from the negotiations.
Diaz, Tamaris.
What is going on?
Try her again. Commander Westbrook to Petty Officer Miranda Maris. Respond.
Something's not right.
She's still on the ship. She has to be.
Computer, locate Petty Officer Miranda Maris.
Petty Officer Miranda Maris is in the isolinear storage array on Deck 5.
I'll go find her.
Good.
I am sure Mr. Diaz can attend to this on his own.
What has Miranda been up to? I feel like we should take a phaser. We're either going to find her unconscious, or she's going to be doing something she shouldn't be doing. I don't want to phase already, not gonna lie.
Someone improperly pulled these isolinear chips.
Whoa. That does not look good.
Who did this?
I think you want a security team on Deck 5. Yeah, enter silently. Not that silently. I'm very suspicious of our supposed girlfriend. I'm gonna lie, if we're doing a little bit on edge, I feel like someone's gonna try and like push us over. Really wish I had a phaser right now.
What the?
Oh, it's just you. I'm busy right now. Why don't you come back later?
Expecting someone else?
What's the matter? Were you worried it was gonna be someone else?
No. I mean, I'm glad it's you.
What is she doing?
I'm through here, so I can't stay and chat. I have other things to do. Sorry you came all this way for nothing.
What happened to her?
Was someone else messing around in here? There were a bunch of ISOs pulled out on the lower level, and these here. Or was that you?
I didn't see anyone, but I'll report it. A team will come to investigate. Look, I appreciate that you came to check on me, but I'm fine. You worry too much. We're on a starship.
You're acting strange.
I'm worried because you're acting strange. I don't know what it is you're really doing in here, but Commander Westbrook said the crystals you took never made it to the containment lab.
Will you drop it? I don't like being interrogated, Carter.
Hey, wait up!
I'm getting some very mixed signals from you right now. I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of stress right now. Just tell Chovak or whoever I don't know where the crystals are, and let me go about my business. I know we have some things to figure out. I don't have time to stand around and debate with you.
If you won't give me a straight answer, you can tell them yourself.
This doesn't concern you, so I'm good with that.
Miranda, hold on!
No. Get out of my way.
So I see you found each other.
You were taking so long, the commander sent us to see what the problem was. Diaz, you were sent here with specific orders, and fighting your crewmate wasn't one of them. What the hell is going on here?
Let's just let them explain.
I'd like to hear that, because I know what it looks like.
Something's wrong with her.
There's something seriously wrong with her. She's not herself, I'm telling you.
What does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything.
Well, for one, she was copying data onto this.
This drive is unauthorized.
There are ISOs all over the floor.
And that's why I was in here, investigating this situation.
She's lying.
And when Carter came looking for me, we got our wires crossed. It wasn't anything more than that.
Where are the crystals?
Even if that was true, it still doesn't answer what happened to the crystal formation that she took. And she isn't helping.
I can't tell you what I don't know. I brought them where they belonged, and that's where I left them.
I don't know what's going on here, but I think we need to call it into security. She can explain herself in the brig.
Hold on a minute. We don't need to put this on anyone's
answer.
permanent record. Carter said you're not yourself. If something's wrong with you, we should head to sickbay and the doc will fix you right up.
Yeah, I haven't felt right since I came back from Hotari. I think I should see the doctor.
You two know her? If you really think she's not well, we can take her to sickbay first. But what I know is this is a security breach, and we should treat it as such.
Please, just let me go see the doctor.
Let's take her to sickbay. It's better than the brig, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Fine. Get checked out by medical. You two go with her. I'll put this back together.
Da-na-na-na. Looks like we're off on our covert mission. What lies beneath? Ventilas. I could really do her favor, please.
Rydick here.
This is Ermont. Any trouble getting to the surface?
I'm really starting to miss transporters.
As long as this storm is around, you'd better learn to like shuttles. But if you can find the cause of the interference, we might be able to get back to transporting.
As if I needed another incentive. We both know there's a lot more than that riding on this.
Fair enough. You'll need to get in and out of the mine undetected, so I hope Minister Tylus can help in that regard.
So do I.
And to keep this covert, we'll refrain from contact unless absolutely necessary.
Like this contact?
Understood. Rydick out.
That looks like an Elysian ship.
The ionic interferences coming from underground. I should find a safer way down there.
Okay, I can't jump off here. Apparently this game clock's 30 FPS, so I'm getting a little bit motion sick. But it's just doesn't look great. Hopefully it's coming across okay on stream. There's Tylus. I think it would see this. Oh, this game definitely needs some work on that kind of stuff.
Hopefully no one else did. It's good to see you. Even under these unfortunate circumstances.
Did you come there?
You came alone?
Of course, why wouldn't I have?
We've recently discovered a great deal of deception on the part of the Hotari. Can't be too careful.
Well, I suppose I can't fault you for that. Though I thought I'd earned a little more faith by now.
Lead the way. I'll fill you in on what we've learned about the situation.
Follow me.
I feel like we should have gone for a different response there. There you go.
The device Galvin and Sidron brought back from the mines is being used to control some sort of warp disruption weapon that has the Resolute trapped in Hotari space. According to our readings, the power source for that device is on this moon, at the specific coordinates I sent you.
That sounds impossible. But explains the rumors of the Hotari controlling the ionic storm.
We strongly suspect the device was created by an ancient empire known as the Takan.
The Takan?
Once the most powerful civilization in the galaxy, but they've been gone for over 600,000 years.
It's hard to believe there's something like that on Tau.
Which is why I need proof. If we find hard evidence that Galvin and his allies are hiding dangerous Takan technology, I can convince the Federation to let us intervene.
Understood. We're almost there.
I wish I had a phaser. Unless I want honors, I'm sure it'll give us that. I think it was Y to equip it. I'm not sure it'll give us that option when we get a little bit closer. I take it these are the mines?
Prospect 614 North, Subdivision 20.
It's enormous.
Just one of the thousands across Tau. The pride of Hotari.
How do we get inside?
The structure that circles the mine has entry points for transporting equipment into the lower levels. They're guarded, but nothing I can't get past using my authority.
Well, that's good to hear.
As long as you can avoid being seen, I should be able to talk my way past any miner. And provide a little distraction for you in the process.
How do I avoid being seen?
You don't use the door. How dare you! Don't you know who I am? I am Tylus Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
That's not...
The Queen would be furious to hear you tried to deny me entry.
The Queen? But I just...
You just what? Just now realize the trouble you've made for yourself? And who exactly do you think you're going to report this to? Because I'll be reporting it as well, to someone much further up the ladder. You have no authority here. Do you understand who pays is your wage, I can inform the Queen directly of this instance.
There's no
You'll
need
regret
for...
everything you've said here today. You should have opened the doors the second I appeared before you.
That's not the protocol. I didn't know
Each second you delay my entry will be recorded, processed, and permanently marked on your record. Can't believe this. Does your brain function? Do you speak our tongue?
I have orders.
How could a fellow Hotari not understand this? You're digging your own grave. I've reached the end of my patience. Escort me to the maintenance bay.
I told you I can't just...
Now!
But fine.
A wise choice. Lead the way. Be quick.
I don't know what I'm looking for.
Not going that way.
Or this way.
Force field. Looks like it was installed recently.
It does, doesn't
Safe
it?
way around it. Okay. Let's get a look inside you.
Yep. Wow, look at that. Okay, signal C that controls field activation. Independent, focusing the pattern of the force field.
Full system access. Let's see if I can just... Bingo.
And so am I doing things? Okay, so the tricorder will beep when we need it. So that's good to know.
Better hurry. Not sure how long she can keep him busy.
Do you want to go left or right? Okay.
Something in here is keeping that door closed.
DNA processor component that processes DNA scans of those that attempt to enter the door. Does not store records, used only as a trigger for activation. Then I'm guessing this is going to be like the thing that stores it. Okay, power regulated prevents soil matter from passing through. And it looks like all these are going to be on the chemical compound. Data storage contains records of personnel with access to this facility. Complete scan.
Should remove the security check on the door.
Hold it there. I'm guessing the doors. Oh? Oh, are you seeing anything else to... Ooh. Here we go. What's this? I'm just going to assume that wasn't anything. Now we can go through the door. And that is one of the mining chips. Okay, now we need to find Tylus again. There's like lots for the FPS, it just feels so jarring.
I didn't
Tell us.
come here to educate an imbecile on royal protocol.
Of course not, Minister.
So I will be about my business here, and you will take yourself out of my sight. There you are.
You really let that guy have it.
It worked, didn't it?
It did indeed.
I'm used to having to throw my weight around. Hard to get anyone to
I'm
listen to
gonna
you
go.
otherwise.
I'm impressed.
I'm impressed. I didn't know you had it in you.
There's a lot you don't know about me. Underestimate me at your peril.
The catwalks were booby-trapped.
Galvin and Sidron have gone to great lengths to keep out the uninvited. Well, we're inside. Where do you want to start?
The ionic interference is coming from below us. We need to go deeper.
That lift goes down, at least to the changeover station. But we can't use it without DNA authorization from one of the guards.
I have an idea, but we need a few samples of DNA from the miners who work here.
Samples?
Fingerprints, sweat, blood.
Which will trick the machine and get us control of the lift.
That's the theory. Let's test it. Do you think we could just find a way to climb over this?
Possibly. But the console on the lift itself is locked by the same system that locks this ramp.
Okay.
No shortcuts then.
I'm sure you can figure something out.
So, okay. I guess we're only on bio mode once we get out of the passive mode then.
This facility doesn't seem well maintained. An Alydian console.
All the managerial technology in the mines is Alydian.
So they can keep an eye on their investment.
That's how it is.
There's DNA on this console, but it's only partial. I can't use this.
Maybe because we're outside.
The weather out here could dilute any DNA samples.
What about inside that structure? That's where the workers spend most of their time.
Good idea.
That would have been helpful information like 10 minutes ago.
Wow, that is a lot of DNA. I should look for the most concentrated spots.
It's gonna be like on console again, isn't it? There you go.
There's gotta be stable DNA here.
Biologically? That makes sense again. Dental prints? Oh, it's food. It's sorry, food. 24 cycles in page. Cups saliva residue. It's viscous to accommodate to their harsh diet. Toy food is often dense, allowing use of a single long
That's
tensile.
a stable DNA sample.
There we go.
It's only partial, but a few more should do it.
Okay, we need to get more.
Not concentrated enough. I should try somewhere else.
What about over here? Hotari mining pick, primitive by Starfleet Standards tool for extracting to lithium. Hotari take advantages of their naturally high strength to break apart solid rock. not that then. There's also like a console over here too. Ah, here we go.
Not enough. Gotta keep looking.
What about this one?
This'll work.
Biological scan. So fingerprints, residual, even oils. My days. Residual oil deposits reveal a distinct pattern of ridges and valleys consistent with a fingerprint belonging to a Hotari male, approximately 36 cycles in age. Keeping in cycles like a day here. Ethereal residues detected the presence of cells shed from the. Okay, it's like skin cells that go off. Indicates recent contact with this surface. I imagine that's going to be like the most helpful one. Dried saliva. Ew. A pattern of saliva consistent with a sudden burst of air from the nose and mouth, likely caused by environmental irritants.
Good. That's another I can use. Just need one more sample.
Why? Surely we just needed one. We've got these sneeze residue. Nothing here, looks like we're scanning. Ah, what's this?
I can use this.
That is a proper handprint. Sorry, fingerprint, blah blah blah. 36 cycles in age. There's only one of those that we have to get.
That's enough to make the DNA profile.
Great.
Time to go back to the lift.
Oh, we do need to talk to her.
You're not coming inside?
There are some things I'd rather not smell.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's there. I guess that must have been like a smelly room with like lots of food and stuff.
What's in all these containers?
These contain mining supplies, tools, energy packs for machinery.
Shouldn't mining supplies be inside the mines?
It is troubling. If the workers here aren't mining...
What are they doing?
It worked!
Theory proven.
I'll get it started.
Ready?
What's she not coming with? I don't feel enough we can trust her, but I feel like we can. Going down. Oh no, she is coming with us.
I'm afraid of what we might find down there.
We'll be okay. We survived worse than this.
Tell us. Tell us if that's a transport nation.
Well, I haven't. But I'll put my faith in you. For now.
Well, I don't want to go in there. That is quite the beam.
Jara. No, stay back. There's a guard at the station. You'll have to hide.
Let me phaser him. Let me phaser him.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
You watch your tone with me. I'm Tylus Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs. I speak for the Queen herself.
This is a restricted area. No one gains access without the approval of Galvin or Sidron.
Wait.
Jues Gawad Abawincha.
Let me go!
Yay! We're about to phaser someone.
I don't know.
Are you injured?
No, I thought if I could talk my way through like always, I'd be fine, but... I'm a diplomat. This isn't what I do. I've I've never even fired a weapon. This is just... It's real now.
You can do it.
I wasn't ready for this.
Tylus, you can do this.
I don't see what you're basing that on.
All you've shown me so far is an iron-willed determination to save your people. I don't expect that's changed.
No. No, it hasn't. My authority has never been challenged like that. It meant nothing to him.
So we should assume any Hotari we encounter from here on can't be reasoned with.
Agreed. The only loyalty they have down here is to Galvin and Sidron.
Can you switch over the lift?
Guard should have a scan card that will allow us to operate the switch.
There's the key card.
Got it.
Oh, I just kind of wanted to look at him a bit more.
He's not dead, is he? He's still one of my people, and I didn't come here to take Hotari lives.
My phaser's set to stun. He'll be perfectly fine, just unconscious for a while.
I see.
We
don't have that sort of technology on our weapons.
Good to know.
Yeah, what's the move at a save point? There we go, that was one. That seems like a good point to make a dramatic pause. To be continued. Yeah, I'm gonna stop this stream for today. Thank you so much for joining me for part 2 of our journey through Star Trek Resurgence. Yeah, in the next episode will be, I don't know when that'll be. Might even play a bit more later today, you never know. But yeah, actually it's a bank holiday in the UK here tomorrow. I don't have any plans, so I might play through a bit more of this tomorrow. So do stay tuned. Or if you're on YouTube, you can catch up on the VOD. I think Twitch has a VOD as well, but I think the YouTube one is a little bit more robust. But thank you so much for joining me for this episode. And in the next episode, we're going to go down into mines and see what Tacon technology the Hotari have. And where we're going to go from there. But thank you so much for watching this episode. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.